Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. Still at the New York Auto Show, still at the Toyota booth, and of course, we can't forget that full-size SUV that really brings a lot of different options. It's this vehicle right here. This is your 2025 Toyota Sequoia. This is the bad boy. This is the Sequoia TRD Pro. But before we get into this full-size three-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So it seems that off-road SUVs keep getting more and more popular. A lot of brands, though, they do the show, but they don't have the go. With this Sequoia TRD Pro, this definitely brings those true, real deal off-road qualities that allow you to go beyond the beaten path and make it to that destination. Now, the Sequoia, it's not a modular crossover SUV. This is a body-on-frame SUV. It actually sits on the same platform, that TNGA platform that the Toyota Tundra sits on. But what I want to find out is, does the Sequoia bring the best of everything? And is it the must-own for a full-size SUV? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, you're gonna find that signature TRD Pro color. This is called Sand Dune Pearl. And it's interesting because this color really has a different hue depending on how much light we have. Now at the front of the business, you'll see that very familiar look. This is what is following into many different Toyota vehicles, the way they shape their headlight housing. So you have full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps and turn signals. We do have functional venting in the corners, and then working our way down, one of the reasons why I like the look of the Sequoia more than the Tundra, even though they sit on the same platform, is this part right here. Love the way they have this massive corner air curtain, gives it a nice aggressive look, and it just looks super clean the way that they styled it. Now, as we come across the front grille, you are gonna get those 3 amber auxiliary lights because of the extra width of this vehicle. Heritage, Toyota Heritage badge. Toyota has so much heritage when it comes to off-roading, specifically off-road racing. Things like the Baja 500, Baja 1000, and stadium truck racing with Ivan the Ironman Stewart. That's where you see a lot of that pedigree in this vehicle. Working our way down, you do have your forward-facing camera, and I'm really digging how Toyota has decided to bring some of these rectangular, almost like a rigid Industries mounted lighting in the center grille. This is how it comes from the factory. But on top of that, you are also gonna get more exterior lighting in the lower corners of this vehicle as well. Now, with this being a TRD Pro, you're getting more ground clearance, and if Lori could show, that's the TRD specific skid plate to help protect the inner bits, things like the oil pan, all of that running gear from getting banged up as you're doing your off-roading. But one of the things, like I said, when it comes to style, I just love the rugged style of the TRD Pro. Now, as we rise up, clean hood. They do these V indentations. Everybody just does straight indentations. Nice to have V for victory indentations. Walking around the corner, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So first of all, you're gonna notice these BBS forged wheels, obviously with the Pro badging embossed there, the TRD center lug cover there, and that's gonna be Toyota Racing Development, that flat black finish, and then we're gonna have the real deal. Those are Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires. Tire size is 285 on the width with a beefy 65 series sidewall. You can see all of the shielding to protect the sidewall, and then check out the custom-made TRD upper control arms and all the other suspension bits, the TRD springs, control arms, the whole shabam. That's stuff that they learned how to change and how to upgrade from all of that off-road racing. Another thing that I love is when it comes to their fender flares, they actually put this camo tech design into the actual fender flare. Instead of it just being flat ABS plastic, boring, you can see the camo, the tech camo design that they brought to that. Now, as we rise up, you do have that signature TRD Pro badging on the hood. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to zonk this. I wish this was a functional heat extractor. This is basically just stuck on the hood. It's for show. It looks good, and it says TRD Pro. Now from the side, this is where you could see that this is that full-size 3-row SUV, so this competes with the Tahoe, the Expedition, the list goes on and on, the Nissan Armada. A-pillar, they do a flat black finish to it. This really helps with the overall look and dimensions of when you're looking at it. TRD Pro gives you that cargo platform up top and your flat black roof rails. So nice to see that you're not just getting suspension bits and stuff, you're also getting really useful things like that cargo platform up top. Along the bottom, you have your TRD specific running boards, powder coated finish, nice durable. Even the sand dune pearl on your door handles. Just a little bit of gloss black that runs along the bottom of the window openings. Coming towards the rear, almost walking into a sign, you got that boomerang flare out. And then as we kind of spin it around the back, this will give you a better look of that cargo platform up there. That comes from the factory as you see it. Now, when it comes to what are we working on the lift gate, you can open the rear glass, but I am gonna have to zonk that the wiper is exposed. So wish that was tucked underneath. Full LED lighting gives it that signature look, not only from the front you have your LED lighting, but also from the rear. Of course, this is that iForce Max. What does that mean? That means you have that twin turbo V6. No more V8. Sequoia has not had a V8 since this redesign, but you do get plenty of power, plenty of torque from that twin turbo V6, and it's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And then you got your Sequoia badge that pops nicely against the sand dune pearl color. And we finish off, and I'm gonna kind of have Lori swing around and show you the TRD branded gloss black staggered exhaust. That's gonna give a nice unique sound to that cab back exhaust, give you some sound from the V6 twin turbo, and it also looks oh so good. But why don't we go ahead, talked about the outside, let's get inside and see what the Sequoia brings for 2025. All right guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. I know you're saying to yourself, well Joe, I'm really loving this Sequoia, especially a TRD Pro, but how much is it? Very good question. MSRP is right around $80,000, so we're not talking about chump change. Also, one thing you should know, the Sequoia has been around since 2001, if you could believe that. But let's see what else you get when you go Sequoia to the door panels. Automatically going TRD Pro, you're gonna get the black soft touch material, the red contrast stitching throughout. Love the way there's no gloss black. And of course, Toyota has that trademark Twinkie holder in the center for good sized Twinkies. And then down below is where you're gonna be able to do your New York bagel run. You can get your 5 large Brooklyn bagels with an extra schmear and 2 cups of coffee to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, love the Heritage badge, just like on the grill. That Heritage badge, a little bit of aluminum style finish. Come on in, you're gonna be greeted to this 14-inch infotainment system. Now, of course, I'm at the show, I'm trying to turn it on. Is it gonna come on? Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. So this is that 14-inch screen, semi-integrated, just a little bit goes past that. If you're wondering what is this camera, they have a special event here if you come during the regular general mission days where they film you behind the wheel and it looks like you're driving. We're gonna really drive this, so we don't need to pretend to drive this. Of course, with the screen, you're gonna get all your latest Toyota multimedia software where you can set up your different driver guests and everything. You can go into your trip information. Everything is very easily accessible. Working your way down, we do have our toggle switches for our AC. Obviously, we're inside. I can't turn on the AC, but you got dual climate control, USB-A, 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats, and then we have more real switches. You can lock the rear diff. You got your front view camera that you easily access and your trailer setup. Now down below we have wireless charging, not home charging, but wireless charging in this area, and you could stack 2 Snickers bars so you don't get hangry. TRD gives you a TRD specific shifter, that's for the 10-speed automatic. We got our different drive modes. This is for your 4x4, and you have, of course, your hill descent control and all the other off-road modes. Love this silver finish. Open sesame, 2 cup holders, Closed sesame, nice and clean. Soft touch material with red stitching. This you could actually open and close. And this one actually has something new I'm gonna show you in a second. This little area is for your honey roasted peanuts. You wanna keep your honey roasted peanuts separated from the rest of your nuts. And then you open this up, it actually has the safe. So this is another new option that you could actually have your lockable safe, USB-C, USB-A. If you're transporting, say if you work for a hospital and you have somebody out in Moab that needs a heart transplant, you could put the heart in the safe on ice and get it to them, to that isolated area. So that's why they have the safe in there. Seats, soft text material, TRD Pro embroidery with the red stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, of course, full electric assist for the driver, and then you have that ginormous panoramic sunroof up top. But why don't you come over here to the business side? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Sequoia. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your Sequoia TRD Pro off-road mats, weather protection, that's 5 extra horsepower, aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle. You got all your seat controls within fingertips reach, nice soft material for the seats, full electric assist steering wheel. We got the leather all the way around, the TRD badge, Toyota Racing Development. And then you got your type red, your red right at top dead center, flat black on all the switch gear, manual tilting and telescoping wheel. It should be electric at this price point. I'm gonna push the steering wheel in so that Lori can show you that 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. Totally configurable depending on what mode you wanna go into, which is really nice, and all the information that you need. Another thing that's missing is a head-up display. Very, very shocked that they don't have a head-up display. I am gonna have to zonk that. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid-row and third row and see what you could haul in this Sequoia. All right, guys, mid-row time. Like I've said before, if you need the space, you gotta go full size, and that's what you're gonna get with these nicely done seats with the camo tech through the soft text material, the design that shines through. You do have captain's chair armrests, but this isn't a real armrest, so I am gonna have to zonk it. I wish it was larger. I'm sure you had certain people tell you that throughout your life. On the back, you do have these massive pockets. This is where you could put your map to your favorite buried treasure. Maybe you're looking for Fenn's buried treasure. 2 cup holders, your rear AC vents, and of course we have our digital display for our AC, and then a cornucopia of connectivity. USB-C, A, and home power source. Seats, do they slide? No, they do not slide, but they do recline. And then to get into the back, what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna do it this way, flip it out. One of the things that's gonna surprise you is that even though this is a full size, it's very cramped back here. This feels quite miserable. I do have recline. I'm gonna get over here, but my legs are just, they're too high. Just way too high. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area and see what stuff we could put in the Sequoia. All right, guys, cargo area time. This is where things get a little bit zonk filled. So with the third row in its regular position, this is how much room that you have. Now, the good news is that Toyota has developed this shelf system to utilize to help increase the usability of this third row. So that's good to where you could put the shelf into place, but there's still not a lot of room. You do have a a home power source. We could pull this out and then slide it back. The other cool thing, engineering-wise, is that you can slide this third row forward and pull it back depending on what you have. Plus, what you could also do is put the seats down as well. And that is electric assist, 60-40 split. The biggest issue that you're gonna have is you could see the difference between where the ground level is and where the bottom of the rear seat is. But it's one of those things that, to show you the third row, you do have USB-Cs, you do have Twinkie holders in the back that are air conditioned, and you do have the power tilting seats. There's just not a lot of room, which is surprising for a full-size SUV. But it's vehicles like these that we like to continue to bring on Raity's Rides and to showcase, because there's lots of full-size SUVs, and that's what they bring to the show, and how that event is going to go down and go up against the competition like the Tahoe, like the Expedition, and the other full-size SUVs. But let me know in the comment section what you think about this Sequoia TRD Pro. If you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti Rides family. Thanks to Lori for putting up with everything and making the magic happen. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.